Now we got that in there. And then this one, there's another one that says
recorder, tape recorder. Webcast out.
And at forward for the Pelicans, 6'4" sophomore, number 51, Tate Snodgrass. And first for the Falcons is Brian Shelton. And on the speed from starting lineup for the teams are Highland Riverside.
So we're on.
Starting at guard, 6' sophomore.
check.
Number 2, Bill Curtis.
Okay, check.
Number 4, Jesse Wolga. At guard, for the Varsity 2029 junior. Number 10, Tucker Hall.
What's that?
At guard, 5'10" sophomore. Number 30, Brett Layton.
Hey, B-Hop.
And at forward, 6'1" senior.
All right, sounds good.
Number 50, Perez Manchester. Our officials for another game are Chet Wheelan, Steve McDowell, and Drew Matson. At this time, we're not reminding everyone to please stand, those wearing masks, and ask that you please remove your mask in honor of our country. Not High School is proud to present to you this evening 5 young ladies on Not High School. They are Caitlin Peterson, Mason DeBreeze, Hannah Staten, Jesse Zerbach, and Aline Keeley. These 5 young ladies will sing our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's broadcast of your 2A District 10 Boys Basketball Tournament Final on WBSchools.us live webcast. This is Mike Jones coming to you live from Mount Pleasant Community High School Gymnasium. And as you heard, we have a great environment here for a 2A final tonight. And there's the tip-up. And Highland controls the tip. I am here tonight with my good friend and color man, Brian Hopkins, affectionately known as B-Hop.
What's up, buddy? Good
Welcome.
to see you.
Good to see you, too. What an environment we have tonight.
I tell you what, it is.
So the ball's on the left-hand wing. It's swung over to the right-hand wing. Highland controlling. West Burlington dropping into a 1-2-2 zone. And actually, it looks more of a 2-3 zone right now. And Highland's got some athletes. They pass the ball inside, goes down low to number 2. That's Bill Burton. He hits the sophomore hits a little jumper in the paint, giving Highland a 2-0 lead at the beginning of the quarter here. Ball goes over to the left-hand wing to Honig, over to Fogel for West Burlington, over to Deshaun Johnson on the right. He skips it over to Honig. Honig looks for 3. Goes off the back of the rim and hits the standard above the basket, out of bounds. It'll be Highland ball.
Hey, your starters for West Burlington. We just got these lineups late, so we don't quite have the starters for Highland. But Jared Fogel, Deshaun Johnson, Caleb Honig, Clay Siefkin, and Tate Sawgrass to start.
That's number 30 for Highland, driving into the paint. Trent Lasik and Clay Siefkin. Clay Siefkin goes up and takes a charge.
Hey, good job. Clay got there early, a little bit early over the Highland player, and gets the ball back right over to West Burlington.
Your starters for Highland, Bill Burton, Tucker Hall. Deshaun Johnson driving the left-hand side of the lane, scores on the layup. He goes up against Terrence Landfair. Jesse Walrab, and I'm not sure who the fifth starter is out there. Hard to see a number.
I got 10, 50, number 4, number 2, and 30.
That's number 30, Trent Lasik. We mentioned him earlier. All right, now we'll get into the play-by-play and a little more. We were a little rushed here getting started at the beginning of the game due to some technical difficulties, but there's a jump ball called. It'll be West Burlington ball. 6:20 to go in the first quarter. The score is 2-2. Jared Fogel dribbles up the center of the court, feeds Clay Siefkin in the middle of the floor. He looks at the rim from the free throw line, off the back of the rim, and that ball go off to Deshaun Johnson. That'll be Highland's ball.
I think they're just trying to feel each other out right here. Everybody's kind of a little worked up. We'll settle down here. Clay's been battling real strong as the big guy down there. He just didn't get enough there, but see what Highland does.
Highland feeds the ball inside to number 4. Fogel with the steal. Fogel bringing the ball down the left-hand side of the floor. A lot of reaching going on there. It's Piers. He feeds Tate Snodgrass inside. Snodgrass goes the hole off the back of the rim. Siefkin with the rebound. There's a foul on that putback attempt. And Clay Siefkin will go to the line to shoot 2.
Hey, Jared Fogel to Tate Snodgrass. We can't get we just kept hitting the back of the rim there, bouncing out, but Clay Siefkin right behind him there to go, and now he's fouled shooting 2.
So Siefkin to the line to shoot the first of his 2, and then first one goes in. Gives the Falcons a 3-2 lead with 5:44 to go in the first quarter. Substitutes coming in for Highland. That's number 34, Chris Mellinger. Siefkin steps up to the line for his second. The shot's up. It's off the back of the rim. Rebound Highland. And so Jesse Walrub will bring the ball up the court for Highland. West Burlington still in their 2-3. Highland working the ball around the outside. They go over to the right wing to number 2, Bill Burton. Burton goes inside to number 50, Terence LaFair. He loses the handle, kicks it back out to the top of the key to Walreb. Walreb takes one dribble, stops, goes to number 10, Tucker Hall. Hall to Walreb. Walreb down to the corner to number 2, that's Burton. Burton back out to Walreb. Good job by the Falcons on defense here. The ball is swung over to number 10, Tucker Hall. He puts it back out top to Walreb. Walreb to Hall. Hall feeds the inside to Chris Mellinger. Mellinger kicks it out to Walrab, who takes a three-point shot, giving the Highland Huskies a 5-3 lead with 4:48 to go in the quarter. Honig with a skip pass to DeRozier. DeRozier down to Johnson. Johnson goes up. Looked like he might have been fouled, but no call. Highland comes away with the rebound. They push the ball up, back to Walreb. Walreb goes inside. The block by Clay Siefkin. Caleb Honig comes up with the rebound. He's going down to the other end of the floor. And he will be called with a travel, carrying the ball on the right-hand side. So Highland gets the ball back after a great stop by the Falcons.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. They sunk that 3. They're coming off the last game. They beat Central Lee 54-50, but they were 0 for 15 on three-pointers. That's something worth noting. 1 for 1 tonight, Highland.
And I'm sure that's why West Burlington's coming out in that 2-3 zone look. They've not made too many attempts from 3. They try to put the ball into Landfair. He loses the handle. Deshaun Johnson comes away with it. He's fouled going to the hole hard. Great job, Deshaun Johnson. He's fouled by number 4, Jesse Walrab.
And we've been to the foul line 3 times already with 4:05 still going the first quarter, and I think we're 1 for 4. Is that correct?
Yep. And Deshaun Johnson's going to go to the line. That's the first on Walrab. And he hits his first. Johnson hits the first.
Now we got no video, so we'll try to color it up as much
Absolutely.
as possible.
We need all the color we can get. And so Tyson Abbott will come in for Caleb Honig, who'll get a little bit of a rest. Deshaun Johnson shoots his second and buries it.
And Rich DeRozier's in the game as well, the sophomore.
So West Burlington, I'm sorry, we were looking at the scoreboard wrong there earlier. West Burlington is 6. No, they're messing the scoreboard up now. We're going to have to figure out what the score is. And while we do, Highland turns the ball over. It is a 5-5 tie according to the scoreboard with 3:54 to go. West Burlington is the visiting team on the scoreboard. So Fogel pushes it up to Abbott. He swings it back through Fogel to DeRozier on the left wing. Fogel to Abbott on the right. Abbott looks inside to Johnson, who looks for DeRozier. Cutting layup for the Falcons.
Abbott to Johnson to DeRozier for two, baby. Nice work in the ball.
Great pass. Great pass from the top there. So the Falcons lead 7-5. Highland feeds it inside to Landfair. It's stolen.
Deshaun Johnson with the steal.
Deshaun Johnson kicks it down to Abbott in the corner. Abbott takes a three-point shot. Goes off the side of the rim. Highland with the rebound to Burton. Burton dribbling through the pressure. He goes to the hole, gives it up to number 34. That's Chris Mellinger, who scores on a layup. So it's 7-7 with 3:01 to go in the first quarter. Abbott with the ball on the left-hand side. Goes to the top to Fogel. Fogel to DeRozier on the right. He skips up the shot. They swing it through the top. They go back down to Johnson, who is fouled on his shot fake step through.
I'll tell you,
you'll be interested to see who this foul is on. That's Highland's fourth foul. Foul is on number 34. Mellinger, his first.
Deshaun, one of the top free throw shooters too, is statistically isn't hit his percentages here from the line. 1 for 5 there for Johnson.
More substitutes coming in for both teams. Snodgrass in for Siefkin, giving him a blow. Johnson missed his first, but knocked down his second.
During that free throw shooting, coach called DeRozier over there. He passed up a wide open three, and DeRozier's solid at shooting the three ball. I think coach is going to say, hey, if it's there, take it.
Absolutely. He's helped us in the last few games that we've played in that regard. Skip pass by Highland to the right-hand wing. That's Burton, who kicks it to the top. Swing it over to Hall on the left. Hall goes to Jake Wood in the corner. And Tucker Hall takes a three-point shot. Missed. Rebound, Tate Snodgrass. Snodgrass gives the ball up to DeRozier. DeRozier brings it up the floor, gives it to Fogel, who gives it right back to DeRozier. He feeds Tyson Abbott down the right-hand side of the wing. Back to DeRozier up top. Falcons are doing a good job spacing the floor on the offensive end, running against a 3-2 defense. And DeRozier gets the ball into Snodgrass. He's blocked, out of bounds. West Burlington will retain possession.
Tyson's Falcons are really wanting to work that inside Abbott to Johnson. Johnson down low to Tate. Defender there, Highland, nice block, and it's West Burlington ball.
Definitely. And so DeRozier's got the ball on the left-hand wing. He gives it up to Fogel at the top, who gives it over to Abbott on the right. Back to Fogel on top. Fogel takes a couple dribbles in, gives it back to Abbott. Abbott looks inside. He skips it over to DeRozier. DeRozier feeds Deshaun Johnson on the baseline. He does another drop step, goes up for the shot. Might have been some more contact, but nothing's called. The ball's going out of bounds. Johnson with the save. Saves it to Fogel, gives it to DeRozier on the left-hand side.
And he shoots a three, and he makes it, baby.
Excellent. That's exactly what we were talking about, B-Hop. We need DeRozier to step up. It's 11-7 with 1:17 to go in the first quarter. Highland swings the ball out to the right-hand wing for a three-point shot by Jesse Walrab. He nails it. That's the second three by the Huskies. Deshaun Johnson will try a three of his own that comes up short. DeRozier with a nice move inside. He's blocked. The rebound goes to Lasik, and the Falcons are called for a foul some 70 feet away from Highland's basket.
Brooks DeRozier's coming out. So is Deshaun Johnson. Checking in for them is Clay Siefkin and Mr. Honig, big 35 sophomore.
Looks like Abbott's going to come out instead of DeRozier. The foul was on DeRozier. Is first. So the Huskies bring the ball up the floor. Lasik at the point. He swings it over to number 4. That's Walrib on the left-hand wing. He misses his three-point attempt this down. Rebound, Honig. Honig goes out to DeRozier, gives it back to Honig. Honig looks inside to Siefken. He goes down to Tate Snodgrass. It bounces off his hand and off the rim. Snodgrass comes up with another offensive rebound and is on his putback attempt is fouled.
He actually got 2 rebounds down there. Rebounded, put it up, rebounded again, and got the foul. So that's going to be team 6, I believe. Is that right?
I believe that's correct, and that'll send Snodgrass to the line. Hits the front of the rim, goes off the backboard, shooter's touch. Snodgrass buries the free throw. 12-10 with 35.6 seconds left in the first quarter. Snodgrass will step to the line for his second. It's up, and it's good. Highland will bring the ball down now. That'll be Trent Lasik bringing the ball up the floor for the Huskies. West Burlington staying back, their hands up in a 2-3 zone. Looks like Highland will try to hold for one shot with 25 seconds to go in the quarter.
Those Falcon fans are getting loud over there.
The clock down to 17 seconds. They're passing the ball up top. Lasik looks at the clock. It's down to 12. Now they go. Ball is kicked out top to number 10. They swing it over to Walrab. Walrab gives it up to number 30. That's Lasik. Lasik shoots. He misses, but he gets an offensive rebound. And at the buzzer, Lasik gets a putback.
Unbelievable.
So it's 13-10 Falcons. And also, they're saying that he was fouled on the play.
No time left on the clock. I think it's going to be 13-12, isn't it?
And so Lasik steps to the line to try to complete a conventional three-point play, but misses his free throw off the back of the rim. So now the score, your West Burlington Falcons 13, the Highland Huskies 12 at the end of the first quarter. Your thoughts, B-Hop?
Oh, man, it's a burner right here. The fans over there, I can hardly talk over them. West Burlington student section came out in droves. They're all dressed in black. These cheerleaders are down there, the Falcon mascot, getting everybody crazy, everybody excited. They're stomping, they're clapping their hands to the beat, and you can hear them right over there. I'd say the Falcon bodies came out 3-1 over Highland. Definitely 2-1 for sure.
Absolutely. The pep bus helps with that, and I think they just introduced that new mascot over there on the Falcon sideline. I believe if I got it right, they were calling him Freddie the Falcon, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't care what he is. He's a nice-looking falcon. I've seen a lot of birds in my life. I'll tell you, that's a good-looking bird.
Absolutely. And so here we are coming out of the first quarter break, and it's 13-12 Falcons, and it'll be Highland Husky ball on the far side of the court.
So, I missed the game Friday. I'm sure you were there. But was it as intense as this?
I'll tell you what, a little smaller environment as Notre Dame is, and it was an intense game. Fogel's going to go try to pressure the inbound. Puts a little token pressure out there.
We'll talk about more how they got here at halftime.
You bet. Trent Lasik gets the ball up on top. He passes over to Hall on the left, back to Lasik. Lasik pushes the ball down to the corner to Burton. Burton up to Lasik. Back to Lasik, steps up for a three-point shot. He misses off the back of the rim. Rebound, Clay Siefken. The outlet goes to Jared Fogel. Fogel's driving. He gives it up to Deshaun Johnson, who goes up for the shot. Again, a lot of contact on that shot down low, but it's blocked, and it'll be West Burlington ball out of bounds underneath their own basket.
I don't know if you announced this, but West Burlington Falcons, you got Siefken, Honig, Deshaun Johnson, Tyson Abbott, and Jared Fogel.
On the out-of-bounds play, Fogel goes into Honig in the corner. He takes a three-point shot. It's missed. Abbott with the rebound. Abbott gets the ball out to Fogel. We get things back under control. Honig with the ball on the right-hand wing. He looks to Fogel up top. Now we're setting things up. Abbott's got the ball on the right-hand wing. Back to Fogel. They swing it to Honig on the left. Back to Fogel up top. Fogel drives to his left. He puts up a floater. It goes off the back of the rim. Rebound. Jared Fogel. Fogel dribbles out, gives the ball to Abbott up top. Abbott's looking cross-court to Honig. Honig dribbles down the middle. He goes to the rim. It's off the backboard. Missed.
So there was a lot of contact underneath there. No call initially, and now they're going to call a foul on Clay Siefken. Okay, away from the ball, I believe.
Away from the ball. A couple of missed shots, missed bunnies by the Falcons. There's 6:51 left in the second quarter. Falcons settle back into their 2-3 zone. The ball goes down to Landfair. Landfair up to Hall. Hall over to Walrab. On the right-hand side, it's Burton with the ball. Burton gives it up to number 22. That's Sandberg. Sandberg drives into the paint. Looks like that's off White. And it'll be West Burlington ball out of bounds on the near side.
And Coach in Highland's going to take a timeout after that ill-advised turnover. Really no contact there, just a misstep, and they threw it out of the bounds. Fortunate for your West Burlington Falcons.
Absolutely. So the Falcons will get the ball back. 6:34 to go in the second quarter with a 1-point lead. And not seen this officiating crew yet this year, B-Hop, but doing a nice job here so far tonight, letting the kids play. It is a district final after all.
Yeah.
And they're going to let the kids decide this a little bit.
I like it too. Everybody's intense and the energy here, and it definitely translates onto the court. And so they are giving them a little extra here, a little more contact than maybe you would see down back home or whatnot.
You bet. So the ball's inbounded to Fogle. Up off the bench really quick after that timeout comes DeRozier. Fogle over to Abbott on the left-hand side. Goes down to Deshaun Johnson. He misses the turnaround jumper baseline. Rebound Highland.
Double coverage there on Deshaun down low, and he just couldn't get it in.
Jesse Walreb tries a pass inside that's deflected or kicked by a Falcon, so it'll be Huskies ball underneath their own basket.
Abbott's coming out. Rooks DeRozier checking in for the Falcons.
Falcons in their 2-3 zone underneath. They feed inside to 22 and Sandberg. Sandberg gets too far below the rim and hits the bottom of the rim on his shot attempt. DeRozier gets the ball on the offensive end. Honig to Fogle up top. Fogle gives the ball over to DeRozier. DeRozier swings it through Deshaun Johnson. Johnson over to Fogle. Highland now playing a man-to-man defense.
Clay's calling the ball down low.
Clay gets the ball on the baseline. He turns over his left shoulder with the right-hand hook. It's off the back of the rim. Rebound, Walrab. Walrab pushes the ball up to Hall on the left-hand wing. He takes a three, another miss. Siefken with the rebound. Siefken gives the ball to Fogle. Fogle's looking up court, nobody to pass to, so he'll dribble it up. Again, Highland showing man-to-man defense. Ball goes into Deshaun Johnson, who gives the ball to Rooks DeRozier on the left-hand side. DeRozier misses, but gets his own rebound, and the putback off the glass. So it's a 15-12 lead for the Falcons with 5:13 to go in the second quarter. Walrab holds up a few fingers. They're setting up a special play here, wanting a basket. He gives the ball over to the right-hand wing to Hall. Hall to Walrab. Back up to Burton on the left-hand wing. Back to Walrab up top. They're swinging the ball so quickly I can't mention all their names. They try the post feed inside. Fogle gets a deflection out of bounds. It'll be Highland Husky ball underneath their own basket as Tate Snodgrass checks in for Clay Siefken.
Hey, good job, Jared Fogle, getting his hand in there, messing it up just a little bit, but unfortunately we couldn't get to it before it goes out of bounds. Highland ball with 4:54 to go in the first half.
So the Huskies line up in a 1-4 high look. The ball is inbounded to number 10. That's Tucker Hall. He sells a shot fake to Honig, and he hits a three on the left-hand side. Now it's a 15-15 tie with 4:41 to go in the second quarter. Ball's over at Honig on the right-hand side. A reach around there by Sandberg knocks the ball out of bounds. Falcon ball underneath their own basket. Fogle's handed the ball, and he looks into DeRozier on the left-hand corner. DeRozier dribbles to his right, gives the ball back to Fogle, and they'll get something set up.
So you got Tate Snodgrass, Deshaun Johnson, and Honig down low there. They're big guys. Rooks DeRozier and Fogle are working the ball.
Honig pushes the ball over to Fogle on the left. Fogle dribbles to his left. He pulls up for a jumper, misses everything. Rebound, Huskies. Sandberg with the rebound. The ball goes out to number 2, Burton. Burton over to Walrab on the left-hand wing. Walrab thinks about it, but reconsiders, pushes the ball back up to Burton. Burton on the right, back to Walrab up top. He's balancing the floor. Ball goes to Sandberg on the left-hand wing. To Walrab. That one into Burton. Burton looked like he walked. One dribble jumper for number 10, Tucker Hall. That's missed, and Tate Snodgrass comes away with the rebound. Ball's pushed up floor to DeRozier. Fogle will get it up top and set things up for the Falcons. Ball goes to Honig on the right-hand wing. Honig takes the three. It's buried. Caleb Honig with a three-point basket. 3:26 to go in the second quarter. It's 18-15, your Falcons. Again with Walrab up top. Brings the ball up, takes a dribble in, gives it over to Burton on the right-hand wing. He tries to feed it inside to the high post, but it's stolen by Snodgrass, who pushes it ahead to DeRozier. DeRozier goes in for the layup. He misses. Rebound Huskies, but Fogle comes away with the basketball somehow. And then promptly turns it over in the corner. So the Huskies will have the basketball.
I would have liked maybe, Jared did a great job down low to get that ball back. I would have liked to maybe see a timeout there. Take a quick 30-seconder. Calm it down, back down. There was too much energy for a bad pass, and that's what happened, unfortunately. Yep,
absolutely. Abbott does come in for Fogle, and the Huskies will bring the ball up across half court.
I think we have plenty of timeouts. Both teams really has. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Hall feeds the ball into Walrab, who misses a jump shot. Goes out to Abbott. Abbott's got the ball at the top of the key. Gives it up to DeRozier, who goes to Deshaun Johnson. Johnson's driving. He loses the handle, and the Huskies dribbled the ball out of bounds. It'll remain Falcon basketball underneath their own basket.
Looks like Mellinger for Highland picked up the ball, but unfortunately he was on the line there, so it's going to be West Burlington's ball again. We got lucky there.
Siefkin comes in for Johnson. Abbott's got the ball out, and he will throw it into the top of the key to DeRozier. DeRozier dribbles to his right, gives the ball to Abbott. Abbott looking inside to Snodgrass. Gives it up to Siefkin at the top of the key. Swings it over to DeRozier on the left. There's Snodgrass on the left-hand block. He misses, but Siefkin comes up with a big rebound, and he'll be fouled on the shot. That'll send Clay Siefkin to the line for two.
These officials definitely do a lot better job than I ever could. There was a lot of contact down there, but Clay Siefkin to power up and get that rebound of Tate Snodgrass's and put it up, and there was definitely more contact. They called a foul.
So Siefkin steps to the line with a three-point lead. He puts his first shot up. That'll extend the lead to 4 with 2:25 to go in the second period. Another substitute comes in for Highland. Therese Lonfair checking into the game for Lasik.
Hey, don't be surprised if Highland gets it to Tucker here for a three. He's pretty hot-handed.
Siefkin steps up for his second shot, misses off the back of the rim. Walrab comes away with the rebound. He's dribbling in the middle, gives it up to 22 at the top of the key. That's Sandberg. The ball rolls around and it goes in. So it's a 19-18 Falcon lead with 2:10 to go in the quarter. A lot of ball pressure up top. And the ball is saved by Abbott, who Snodgrass picks up the ball and scores on a layup. It's 21-18 Falcons.
I'll tell you what, they have a lot of pressure on Tyson Abbott as a guard there. He lost the handle, regained it, dished it to Snodgrass. He miraculously got the ball and put it up for two.
So 1:46 to go in the second period. Falcons with a 3-point lead, still sitting back in their 2-3 zone. That's a steal by DeRozier. DeRozier around his back, gives it up to Abbott for a layup, and it rims around and goes in. It is a 23-18 Falcon lead with 1:30 to go in the second period.
They're on an 8-3 run, the Falcons are. It was tied up at 15 apiece. It is now 23-18. What do you say about that?
That's awesome. Here comes Tucker Hall for the Huskies. He gives the ball up to Walrab on the right-hand wing. Hall drives the middle, loses the handle on the ball, but eventually comes up with it. Walrab on the right wing. There's Burton at top.
Oh, it's getting loud in here.
Dribbles in. And again, here we go over to Walrab on the right-hand wing. He taps a three. Rebound Tyson Abbott.
I've been saying his name a lot. I'll tell you what, he's stepping up a senior right here. He's been stepping up and doing a lot. Over to Honig.
Honig goes inside to Siefkin. Siefkin turns baseline. Gives a finger point over to Honig for the feed because he scored on the baseline drop step with 43 seconds to go. Your Falcons are up 7, 25-18. Ball over to Hall on the left-hand wing. This zone seems to be working very well for the Falcons. Looks like Walrab will hold the ball for one last shot here at the end of the quarter. 29 seconds to go.
29 seconds to go. I'll tell you what, that last possession really quieted this crowd over here. We are announcing on the visitors section just to tell the people at home. Our mics are all set up over here. All that noise you hear is from across court.
15 seconds to go in the quarter. Walrab with the ball at the top of the key. It's now down to 10. Now he's going to go. He puts the ball over to Tucker Hall on the left. Back to Walrab, who dribbles right. They go look inside for a layup. It's number 50. That's Landfair, and he scores with just under a second on the clock. So your Falcons will go into the locker room with a 25-20 lead. Great basketball game going on here in Mount Pleasant. B-Hop, your thoughts?
My thoughts, I mean, the intensity, the energy, it starts with the fans, it translates to the players. I mean, it's a great game by both sides. I mean, really, it scores 25-20. It's anybody's game with, 20 minutes to play and the rest of the game. I'm stoked. I can't wait, man. I hope it goes by quick.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great, well-played first half. Obviously, there's a little bit of nervous energy out there for both these teams. They are, a little bit of nervous energy. They've turned the ball over several times. We've had some missed free throws. Now the coaches will get them in at halftime, settle them down, and say, let's finish this thing off, Falcons, is what Coach Shellman will be telling them, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Keep up the intensity. And Shellman's playing a good game here, in my thought. He's rotating the kids. Everybody's fresh. That bench is so deep. It's not 5 players. It's not 6 or 7. I mean, you're 10, 12 players on that team that can come in here and be very productive. Something I'm impressed with by Highland on the visitors here. They're 0 from 15 on their last game coming out against Central Lee. I mentioned that earlier. Highland beat the Hawks 54-50, but they were 0 for 15 on that three-pointer. I don't have the exact statistics tonight, but they definitely made 3 or 4 from behind the line, and so I'm impressed with that.
Absolutely, and of course we spoke earlier about how the Falcons got to this point. First of all, in their first round, they beat Columbus Junction in what was a fairly easy game there in West Burlington. Columbus did come out, and Falcons had a considerable lead at the start of that game, and then Columbus came. They put a run on at the end of that to kind of keep it close. I think it ended up being about an 18 to 20 point game, but at one point in the fourth quarter they had it down to 10. So that was a good test for the Falcons in that respect, having to kind of respond to some adversity. And then more adversity struck the Falcons prior to their game with Notre Dame. One of their leading scorers was unable to play in the game against Notre Dame, but the Falcons really decided, hey, this is a team thing, and we're going to come out and we're going to make this happen. And they came to Notre Dame with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and a little bit of a grudge because Notre Dame had gotten them twice earlier in the season.
Right.
And to come into Notre Dame's home gym and really lead all of the game except for a few seconds in the fourth quarter, in the waning seconds of the fourth quarter, and then to pull out, I guess, what would be considered an upset win, although we Falcon fans don't consider it that.
No. I'd say a lot of people think that it's definitely a postseason surprise.
Yep.
That the Falcons beat a 19-3 overall ranked Notre Dame team. So I agree, but like you said, that leading athlete that was unable to play that game, that's what it goes back to when I was talking about that bench and how deep we are.
Absolutely.
You were talking about a kid that does get a lot of playing time. He scores a lot of points, and unfortunately he wasn't able to play, but you had that 6 guy come in, that 7 guy, that 8, 9, 10, 11, and just minutes and minutes, and they beat him 70-65, which is probably bittersweet for them. A lot of those boys, they all play football together, and they all play tennis and golf and all that, and they're dear friends. So we know the Notre Dame people are at home. They're hoping for a victory here, West Burlington. We hope, and we appreciate everybody at home just listening and tuning in.
Yeah, and we definitely don't want to take anything away from a very well coached and a good Notre Dame team.
Great
with
Notre Dame team,
great Notre Dame team. You're absolutely right. With a couple of state qualifying high jumpers. I think they finished first and second in the state last year. But the Falcons did come out and snuck out of there, I guess you could say, with a victory. Although Falcon fans would tell you that the way that they played, they're looking good for this time of the year.
Absolutely. They gelled at the right time of the year. Obviously, the records, Notre Dame had a lot better record than us. But it's interesting when you gel postseason time. I just hope that gel is still intact and we're able to beat Highland right here. Yeah,
and you've mentioned a couple times, B-Hop, the depth of the West Burlington bench, and there's a lot to be said for that because there are players that come in and they know their roles, and they don't try to overdo things. They know each other well. And last game, I think at least in the Columbus game, I know we went 12 deep, and at least we're going 10 deep. In the last 2 games, the game in Notre Dame and the game here tonight. By my calculations, I think that we've had 10 players in the ball game. DeRozier, Fogel, Abbott, Johnson, Honig, Siefken, and Snodgrass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, okay, we're only going 7 deep so far tonight, but it's in the first half, and those players who have come in off the bench have contributed well.
Absolutely. And I talked to one of the players after the big Notre Dame win. I was out of town. It was our anniversary. We were unable to be at the game, which
Don't tell us about what happened there.
I will not. But I'll tell you what. My wife was obviously thrilled to death that she was able to see her last, or not their last, but another game at least.
Absolutely.
Postseason, Tyson being a senior and whatnot. But I talked to one of the students and I said, how many points did you score? And he said, I didn't score any, but my role was not to do that. It's to put pressure against their major guards, ball handlers, get turnovers and assists, and that's his role.
Yeah.
There's other people's roles that we've got to rebound. We got several kids that can shoot the three ball, which is super exciting.
Absolutely, and DeRozier has really come off the bench in that regard and filled a role that many didn't see throughout the season. I think it started right around the LNN game, but it's great when you have players who come in and their role is defined for them, they understand their role, and then they fill their role, they fulfill their role, accept their role, and then fulfill it.
Absolutely.
And that leads to great basketball. And so we've got a little bit over 4 minutes here left in the half, and we're going to take a little bit of a break to give our voices a break, and we'll bring the second half of basketball to you. Right now, your Falcons up 5, 25-20 here at Mount Pleasant Community High School.
We'll see you in 3 minutes.
Okay, so just under a minute here in the halftime break, and it will be West Burlington ball coming out of the period break. Teams have been in for halftime and have gotten their halftime adjustments taken care of. And for your Huskies, we'll have Lasik, Burton, Walrab, Hall, and looks like
Sandberg. And for your Falcons, Deshaun Johnson, Jared Fogle, Caleb Honig, Clay Siefken, Tate Snodgrass. So Highland comes out in the man-to-man defense at the start of the second half. Fogle gives the ball up to Johnson on the right-hand wing. He feeds Snodgrass, but it's taken away by number 30. That's Lasik. The Huskies put up a three-point attempt, and Siefken and Lasik tie things up. Highland will have the ball underneath their own basket.
Something I noticed, the no call is there's a lot of contact going up for those rebounds, and they're not making the calls on both sides, not just one-sided, but just
good move there by Lasik, taking the ball inside. He kicks the ball out to number 4, Walrab, who misses his three-point attempt. The ball is definitely tipped out of bounds by the Huskies.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Some of the fans didn't like it, but it was a good call. We got a pretty good view on that angle, and I agree with you 100%.
So West Burlington bringing the ball up to court. Fogle at half court. The Falcons line up in a UCLA cut look. They're coming out the backside. Honig forgets to screen for Fogle. On the right, Fogle's got the ball on the right-hand side. Snodgrass coming across the lane. They go into Siefken. Siefken puts up a off-balance shot. It's rebounded by the Huskies. Sandberg gives it up to Lasik. Lasik coming down the middle of the lane. He tries to pass out to the wing. Honig goes out to challenge the shot. The ball is moved around well by the Huskies. Sandberg with the ball on the right-hand side of the court. Burton back over to Lasik, who attempts a three. It rims in and out. Siefken comes away with the rebound. Outlet goes to Fogle. Fogle's looking up floor, and he'll be called with a travel on the bounce pass, even though the ball was tied up by a Husky player.
Yeah, definitely. There's two Huskies on Fogle there. They got a hand on it. He was trying to do a pass, and they called the travel by the official on the other side of the court. He must not have saw the hand. Nope.
DeRozier, like you said, we've got a pretty good angle up here. DeRozier comes in for Snodgrass. The Falcons drop into their 2-3 zone. A flash inside by Lasik. Over to the right-hand wing. Lasik, a running jump pass, gives it up to Burton. Burton out to Hall. Hall drives inside and gives the ball up to Lasik. He's fouled on his drive to the basket.
I anticipate a call on Deshaun Johnson here. And it was fouling Deshaun Johnson.
So the foul on Johnson to the line for two shots is Lasik. Lasik hits his first. It's 25-21 with 6:13 to go in the third quarter. The Falcon fans getting into the cheering over there. Again, Lasik steps to the line. The shot is up. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Cutting the lead to 3 with 6:11 to go in the third.
Hey, good composure there. There's a lot of noise over there, and nothing but net on that one.
The Huskies showing man-to-man again. The ball is fed inside to Johnson. Johnson goes to the baseline. He misses his shot, but he gets his own rebound. Misses his second putback. Fogle comes away with the rebound, and he dribbles out. Gives it back to Johnson on a nifty pass. Johnson with the layup. 27-22 Falcons with 5:45 to go in the third quarter.
Nice pass there by Jared Fogle. Wide open to Deshaun Johnson that time, and he buries it that time.
The Huskies give the ball out top. They pass it around a few times. It goes to Walrab. Walrab misses his three-point attempt. Honig with the rebound. Honig dribbling the ball down court, and it's tipped out of bounds by the Huskies. It'll be Falcon ball underneath their own basket.
Hey, good job by Honig getting that rebound. He's a great ball handler. Probably tried too much there, take it all the way down the court, and just actually we're lucky it's still our ball. Knocked out by Highland.
So the Falcons inbound to Johnson over on the baseline. Johnson takes a jump shot that's missed. Siefken hustles out and saves it. Here comes Lasik. He goes coast to coast. The ball is blocked by Honig. Unfortunately, Johnson comes up with the rebound as he's flying out of bounds. And so the Huskies will keep the ball.
That's exactly right. Honig hustling his butt off to get to the other side. Blocks the ball. Goes right into Johnson as he's coming on his backside and just into his arms, out of bounds.
So Snodgrass comes in for Johnson. The Huskies inbound the ball, and Snodgrass comes away with a key rebound. Wow. He is apparently there's a jump ball on that, and Falcons will retain possession.
Hey, Tucker Hall for the Highland just snuck up on him, and intensity by Tucker. Look, he's back.
And the Huskies show some press, and Lasik gets the foul on Fogel quite a ways away from his own from the Falcon basket, trying to deny the pass. That's his third.
Yeah, 5:06 to go in the third.
So a 5-point lead for the Falcons with 5 minutes to play. Fogel bringing the ball up the floor. He goes to Honig over on the right-hand wing. Honig, little hop back move, shoots a 3-point basket shot. It's missed. Fogel comes away with the rebound. He kicks it out to DeRozier. DeRozier to Siefken at the free throw line. They'll give it back out and get things set up. DeRozier driving down the left-hand side. He goes all the way to the rim and scores on a layup.
That sophomore looked like a senior right there. My God, took on 3 players and put it in. Brooks DeRozier, ladies and gentlemen.
7-point lead for your Falcons with 4:29 to go in the third quarter.
Oh, nice.
Good post feed there by the Huskies, working from behind the zone. Ends up in a layup for Burton. So it's a 5-point lead with 4:11 to go in the quarter. Ball is tipped, and Honig gives the ball back to Fogel in the corner. Fogel will shoot a 3. It's nothing but air, and Walrab comes away with the rebound. He's dribbling the ball up, gives it up to Burton. Burton at the top of the key. Falcons back in their 2-3 zone, give up another post feed, and it's a miss, but there's going to be another foul, and guess who that's going to be on? That foul is going to be on number 30, Lasik. I believe that's going to be his 4th.
Hey, you're going to get some fouls when you're playing with this much intensity. I'll tell you, on both sides of the court, these boys, they want to leave nothing on this court tonight.
Yeah, not a good foul for the Falcons. 3:48 to go in the third period, and Lasik will take a seat with a 5-point deficit. So Fogel's bringing the ball up the floor again. He gives it over to DeRozier on the right. There's a ball screen for him by Snodgrass. DeRozier takes a couple dribbles, attempts a 3. Snodgrass comes away with the rebound. He gives it to Abbott. Abbott swings the ball through DeRozier. DeRozier at the top of the key. He gives it up to Abbott on the right. Snodgrass posting up. A good post feed by Abbott to Snodgrass, who drop steps to his left. And apparently there's a jump ball called on what looked like a good shot attempt by Snodgrass.
Oh, and Coach is all over on one of the officials' ears, and he's trying to figure out what happened there. I don't know what really happened. It looked like a block ball to me, so they must have called a jump off the block. Yeah,
it must be. And Snodgrass came away from it and had a wide open layup before the jump, what would have been a wide open layup before the jump was called. But regardless, Huskies bring the ball down, and they go inside again, kick it out to number 14. That was Jake Wood, who attempted a 3-point shot, missed, and DeRozier comes away with the rebound. He's now playing at the point guard for the Falcons. He gives it up to Abbott, who's on the right-hand side. Abbott takes a few dribbles to his left, gives it up to DeRozier. DeRozier's looking inside. He swings it through Abbott, and Shellman will call a timeout with 2:49 to go in the third period.
There's so much action, I couldn't even tell. I was going to tell the audience who was in on that last play, and it just seemed like we never had a time to do it. There was just so much going on there. So, like we mentioned earlier, the intensity is here. And I'll tell you what, we'll take a 5 to 10 second timeout here. 1 moment and be back with West Burlington Falcons.
Okay, and there's your horn for the end of the 30-second timeout. It'll be Falcon ball on the far side of the floor. Abbott, Fogel, Snodgrass, Johnson, and DeRozier on the floor for the Falcons. And they're running a set out of the timeout. They go to Snodgrass at the top of the key. Abbott dribbling to his left. He gets blocked on his shot attempt going down to the baseline. They're going to push the ball ahead to number 50, Landfair, who traveled prior to his layup attempt.
So just to describe it at home, Tyson went up for a layup, got snuffed, rebound Highland all the way down court to a wide open trio.
Landfair, yeah.
Highland, and misfortunately they took too many steps.
Good news for the Falcons. Abbott with the ball, the feed to Snodgrass. Snodgrass gets a lot of contact inside as they try to get the ball popped out, which they do. Johnson does a little spin move, and Sandberg goes up to block the shot, but he's going to be called for a foul on Johnson's spin move. That'll send Johnson to the line for 2.
Sandberg definitely got ball on that. I think what the official saw was maybe some body contact as well. He calls the foul. He's going to send Deshaun Johnson for 2.
So Johnson steps up to the line. The ball is up, and it's good. The Falcons are now leading 30-24 with 2:15 remaining in the third period. Highland now calls a 30-second timeout. And a lot of celebration there in the West Burlington huddle for Johnson, who's hit the first of his 2 free throws.
Hey, it's a real close game. The Falcons are up by only 6 points, really, with this intensity. And you see what Highland can do to a fast-breaking team. So coach is going to tell them, hey, keep playing your game. We're still in this, obviously. There's still a bunch of time left to go. So
yeah, absolutely. We got a full quarter and 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the third left to play. And West Burlington with the 6-point lead. So Johnson will go back to the free throw line coming out of the 30-second timeout by the Huskies.
And so Johnson's made his first. Let's see what happens here.
He drains a second, and the substitute is sent to the bench to slow the Huskies down. Safkin comes in for Snodgrass. Did I say Safkin? I think I said Safkin. That's Siefkin. Play Siefkin, as all you Falcon fans know. So the Huskies bring the ball up with a 7-point deficit. It's 31-24 Falcons with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Screen at the top for Walrab. Walrab gives the ball up to Burton on the right-hand side and back to Walrab at the top. He's calling something out up top. Walrab swings the ball over to 22. That's Sandberg on the right-hand wing. Ill-advised pass inside, but upon the turnover, Landfair gets it back. Walrab with the ball up top of the key. He swings it over to 14. That's Wood. He's on the left-hand wing. He fires off a 3 and buries it. It's 27-31 Falcons with 1:27 to go in the quarter. Honig will try a 3 of his own on the other end. Nothing but air. And the Huskies come away with the rebound. They push the ball up to Burton. Burton misses, but Landfair gets a rebound with the putback, and that'll lead to a Falcon timeout with 1:10 to go in the third quarter. Coach Shellman not liking what he's seeing on our effort.
Welcome back, Highland fans. I'll tell you what, they were sitting on their hands for a few minutes there, but I'll tell you what, that 5 points I think came courtesy of Landfair. Therese Landfair. He lost the ball down here and then recapitalized on it. Scores 2, comes back and hits a 3. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, he didn't hit a 3, but he pushed the ball out for a 3. And but Landfair has been involved in at least the last 3 or 4 plays down on this end of the floor for sure. Great putback by him on that basket. After the initial turnover.
That's what I'm saying.
So he's bounced back from, made a mistake, didn't let that mistake define him, and has bounced back, made 3 big plays in a row. So the Falcons with a timeout, they took a full timeout. They're coming out of the timeout, and
with 1:10 to go, I don't know if we mentioned the score, but Falcons only lead by 2 here, 31-29 with 1:10 play in the third. Abbott, Fogel, Clay Siefkin, Deshaun Johnson, and Honig in for your Falcons.
Fogel brings the ball to the top of the key. He creates some space to eliminate the 5-second count. He's dribbling to his left again. Now he goes to Honig on the right-hand wing. Honig to Siefkin at the free throw line. Siefkin shoots a shot that's short off the front of the rim. Rebound, Huskies. Burton brings the ball down the right-hand side. He skips it over to 14. That's Wood. He's hit 1-3 already, and there's his second. So now the Huskies take their first lead with 34 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 32-31 Huskies.
That's a couple big three-pointers right there.
The ball is fed inside. Wow. A lot of contact on the shot attempt by Siefkin. A bunch of guys on the floor, and if these refs aren't careful, they're going to lose control of this game.
Yeah, I think the officials after this right here, you're going to watch. There's going to be a lot more fouls. They're going to tighten it up. A lot of contact, a lot of muscle down there on the court. trying to get that loose ball.
Yep, big scrum down there on the floor, as we spoke of earlier. Apparently number 22, Sandberg, has some blood on his uniform, and so he's got to go get cleaned up by the trainer. West Burlington ball underneath their own basket. Fogle will take the ball out of bounds. Lots of screens, lots of physical play. It goes into Johnson. Johnson goes up and is fouled on his shot attempt, I would hope.
And you wouldn't have saw that the first or second quarter, I'm telling you. I think it's off of that last play there. Just both teams, just a lot of physical play. And really, I'd like to see some towels down there right underneath the basket. There's 5, 6, 7 bodies on the floor going after that ball, and they didn't even wipe anything up. So hopefully nobody gets hurt.
Yep, Johnson goes to the free throw line. He nails his first. That ties up the game with 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Johnson given the ball by the officials. He goes up for his second. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Now the Falcons have the lead back with 17 seconds to go. Huskies will hold for one last shot here, and it looks like the Falcons will stay in their 2-3 zone. It's down to 8, down to 7. Huskies ball, top of the key.
Do not give a three.
They give it
open.
back up over to Walrub. Walrub drives in. He gives it up to Hall, and Caleb Honig comes up with a big block on his three-point attempt. So you go into your fourth quarter here, folks, with your West Burlington Falcons leading 33-32. And as they say in the olden days, or said in the olden days, we've got a barn burner going on here, don't we?
We got a barn burner. It's a 1-point lead by the Falcons. There's 8 minutes to play. And I got to tell you, you got to give a courtesy point there to Caleb Honig. I said, don't give up the three. Down for the Highland was Tucker Hall, somewhat open. He looked open from this angle. I was sitting a little bit behind him. He goes for the three, looked wide open. All of a sudden, Honig comes in, jumps out of his shoes, and blocks that ball into the buzzer. 1-point lead. They didn't get a last shot off, which could be huge. We'll find out.
Absolutely. With only 8 minutes to go in the game, at the start of your fourth quarter here, your Falcons will come out with a 1-point lead, and I guarantee you that it's going to be back and forth here in the fourth quarter.
Hey, and just to let you know, too, I'm putting
Let's hear it from your Falcons.
We'll listen to the PA announcer.
Highland Riverside, Ryan Husky.
That PA just got our fans, I think, a notch up, so we'll see what happens.
So it'll be Husky ball on the far side. They inbound it to Wood at the top of the key. Wood goes over to Lasik. Lasik back to Wood. He gives it to Walrab on the left-hand side. Goes into Burton inside. Wood with another three-point attempt. It's missed. Johnson comes away with the rebound, pushes it up to DeRozier, and he pushes it up to Snodgrass, but Snodgrass will be fouled by Wood on the pass attempt. So the Falcons will have the ball underneath their own basket. 7:41 to go in the game.
West Burlington had a 2-on-1 fast break there, and I think the Highland player just needed a foul there, and that's probably a good foul to keep it from an easy 2.
Into Siefken on the right-hand side. Great play by the Falcons. Siefken scores on the layup. 35-32 with 7:34 to go in the game.
They inbounded right to him, and he was wide open going up in the air. So nice, easy 2 points for the Falcons.
So Lasik at the top of the key gives the ball up to Burton. Burton goes over to Wood on the right. Back to Lasik. Lasik gives the ball back to Burton. Burton with the dead. Good cut there. Oh, goodness. Good cut there by Lasik, who runs into Siefken, and the official is going to call a blocking foul before the shot, and it'll be Husky ball underneath their own basket. 35-32 with 7:14 to go in the game. The ball is inbounded to Landfair, who was key in that comeback attempt. A little bit of a trap there on Lasik. Lasik goes up to Wood. Wood over to Sandberg. Sandberg back to Lasik. Back to Wood at the top of the key. They feed Sandberg inside. He turns around, hits his jumper. It's 35-34 with 6:51 to go in the game. Falcons have a 1-point lead. Johnson driving down to his right. He is knocked down to the ground, but the Huskies come away with the ball. 6:30 to go in the game. 35-34 Falcons. The ball is pushed up there to Lasik. Lasik takes one dribble to his left, running jumper. He misses, but comes away with his own rebound. He pulls the ball out at the top of the key. They give the ball over to Sandberg. Sandberg attempts a three. Snodgrass comes away with the rebound. He gives it up to Fogel. West Burlington, 6:12 to go in the game. They feed it over to DeRozier on the right-hand wing. DeRozier looks inside. They give it to Snodgrass up top. He swings it over to Fogel. 6:05 to go. Fogel dribbles to his right. Back dribbles. He ends up wide open for a little jumper. He misses, but he comes up with his own rebound. They push the ball out to Johnson. Johnson dribbles a couple times to his left. He gives it into Siefken. Siefken turns baseline. He goes up, and a lot of contact there, but he scores on the layup. It's 37-34 with 5:42 to go in the ball game.
I'm seeing some tired Falcons up there, and I think that's why our balls are coming up a little short.
Sandberg drove to the middle there. And now the Highland Huskies kind of try to settle things down. Wood at the top of the key. He's hit a couple of threes. We got to have a hand up on that shooter. They go into Landfair, who misses his jump shot. And Deshaun Johnson comes away with the rebound. Gives it into DeRozier. DeRozier into Snodgrass. Snodgrass misses his drop step shot. And there's a jump ball called. Clay Siefken ties him up. And Siefken will come out of the game. Replacing him, Darius Red. It'll be the Falcons' ball underneath their own basket.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Darius Red hasn't gotten the game yet, but a good player. I mean, I'm really impressed with that sophomore, or junior, excuse me.
Snodgrass gets the feed from Fogel. He goes up and is fouled by number 22, Sandberg. That's his second foul. The team's sixth. The Falcons only have 2 team fouls. Snodgrass will go to the line for 2.
You mentioned the Falcons have 2 fouls compared to their 6. I'll tell you what, I'd take the ball down slow, set it up a little bit, and try to draw a couple more fouls. Take it inside, power up. Maybe you get a call or 2.
Snodgrass, the sophomore, steps up to the free throw line and calmly hits his 2 free throws. It's 39-34 Falcons with 5 minutes to go in the game. The Huskies bring the ball up the floor. And a little bit of reach there by Fogel on the basket cut feed by the Huskies from the left-hand side. It'll be their ball underneath their own basket. They hand the Huskies the ball, and the Huskies throw the ball up top. That's Hall with the ball. He gets the ball up there to number 30, Lasik on the right-hand side. Back through Hall. Over to Walrab. Walrab to Lasik. They're swinging the ball too fast to call the game. And Walrab with the ball at the top of the key. Again, Lasik on the left-hand side. He loses the handle. Johnson comes away with it. Dribbled it off his foot. Johnson going to the baseline. He's blocked by Landfair. Landfair pushes the ball up to a wide-open Lasik. Lasik goes up for the layup. It's 39-36 Falcons. 4:22 to go in the game. We've got to do a better job of getting back, B-Hop.
Yeah, it's been a long game, a lot of intensity. Those legs are getting a little tired here. And they're a pretty conditioned team, the Falcons. No disrespect to that. Game's just been going insane from start to now with 4 minutes to go, and that's 4.
4-point lead for the Falcons. Snodgrass gets the ball inside. He picks it up. He's tackled by Lunsford. The ball squirts loose, and Highland comes away with it. So now, with a 4-point lead, the Huskies have the ball. Lasik's got it. I'm sorry, 3-point lead. The Huskies have the ball at the top of the key. The ball is now at Sandberg in the corner. Into the paint comes Lasik. Lasik gives the ball up to Landfair, who puts up a shot but is fouled on his attempt. And the foul is going to be on Darius Red, his first.
So it looks
Shooting
like
2 is Landfair.
Honig, Siefken, and Abbott are ready to check in.
And
DeRozier, Snodgrass, and Darius Red are coming out.
Okay, so Landfair missed his first. It's a 3-point lead. Falcons have a 3-point lead with 3:35 to go in the game. Ball given to Landfair on the free throw line. And it hits the front of the rim but bounces in. So now it's a 2-point deficit for the Huskies with 3:33 to go in the game. Fogel bringing the ball up the floor. He gives it over to Abbott on the right-hand side. Abbott looks inside, doesn't like what he sees, gives it to Johnson. Johnson swings the ball over to Fogel. Fogel with a 3-point attempt. Nothing but air. Siefken comes up with a big rebound. He's fouled, and he puts in the basket.
He's going for 3, baby. I'll tell you what. Fogel was wide open. He shoots the 3. It goes long, right in the hands of Clay Siefken, who powers it up and gets a foul, makes it going for 3.
The foul is on Walrab. That's his 3rd. Siefken goes to the free throw line with a 4-point lead with 3:19 to go. He hits his free throw. Now it's a 5-point lead.
Money. They're pushing it.
So the Falcon fans are excited. And the Highland coach is not. Coach Marcus Hall calls a timeout. Down 5 with 3:14 to go in the ball game. 37-42. He'll try to set something up for the Huskies on the offensive end.
I'll tell you what, you're still only down. I mean, you're down by 5 with 3:14 to go. That's a great timeout by Coach. The momentum was definitely West Burlington Falcons, and we'll see if they can get back into it or not.
So we've got Siefken, the leading scorer for the Falcons, on the court. Also, Tyson Abbott, he's got 2 points. Tate Snodgrass with 6 is on the floor, as well as Caleb Honig, who has 3 points at this point. For your Huskies, pretty balanced scoring all the way across. 6-5, 6-5-4. And we'll come out of this timeout with the Huskies ball. The other situation on the clock, like we said, 3 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the game. The Huskies do have 17 fouls. That'll send the Falcons to the bonus for the rest of the game. The Falcons with only 14 fouls, so they have a few fouls to give if things get close.
That's true. And for your Falcons, you got Fogel, Abbott, Honig, Snodgrass, and Clay Siefken.
So Burton will take the ball at the top of the key. There's a high screen over here for Lasik. Lasik takes a couple dribbles to his left, puts up a 3, and misses. Siefken comes away with the rebound. 3 minutes to go in the game. Fogel bringing the ball up the floor. He dribbles to his left on the crossover. He gets all the way into the paint, gives it up to Honig. Honig going to the rim. He misses on his little jumper, but it's off the Huskies, Walrab, and the Falcons will retain possession underneath their own basket.
Hey, Clay Siefken and the Highland player, a lot of contact going up for that rebound. Highland player just tips it right out, but no call, and West Burlington ball. Ugh.
Big pass up to the top of the key. Tyson Abbott went up for it. Into Tate Snodgrass. Back to Abbott. Back to Honig in the corner. Back out to Abbott. Abbott will dribble around his back, and it's taken away from him at half court by Burton. Burton gives the ball up. They bring it down. There's a shooter over on the left-hand wing for the Huskies. That's number 4, Walrab. He hits a 3. It's 40-42, 2:20 to go in the game. Your Falcons have a 2-point lead.
That's huge for Highland right there. Abbott just got out defense, lost the ball, and Highland took it down and scored a 3-point play.
And now the first time in the ball game on a post-up call, they're going to call a foul on Snodgrass, saying he pushed on his post-up. So with a 2-point deficit, the Huskies will get the ball back with 2:09 to go. Snodgrass will come out of the game with that's his second team foul. Coach Shulman encouraging him. Deshaun Johnson in for Snodgrass.
Oh my!
So we've got Fogel, Abbott, Snodgrass, Johnson, Siefken, and Honig. The ball goes to the top of the key to Landfair. Landfair swings the ball. They get the ball into the corner for Walrab. Walrab doesn't have anything to look at. He gives the ball to Sandberg at the top of the key. Sandberg's on the right-hand side, my fault. That's Lasik at the top of the key. And Sandberg takes a look at the rim. He takes a couple dribbles. Might have walked on that pass attempt. And there's a drive down the middle of the paint by Lasik. He gives it up to number 2, Burton, who scores on the layup. 42-42 with a minute 30 to go in the ball game. So Fogel brings the ball up the floor, and we will have a timeout. West Burlington, they call a full timeout with a minute 27 to go, tie ball game.
So what do you think Coach Shulman's going to tell the boys right here with a minute 27 to go? The score's 42-42. what would you be telling your boys?
Well, I think at this point, what Coach Shellman is saying is, hey, guys, relax. We're fine. We've got the ball, 1:27 to go. He's probably setting up a special play here. The Huskies have been playing man-to-man defense. Now, on the other hand, if I'm the Huskies, I might try to change things up a little bit, come out with a different defense for a moment. We'll have to see what happens, but be prepared for anything. Our ball on the side, and I'm going to be talking to him about if we score, we get back, play good, solid defense. That's what we can do. If we don't score, which I'm probably not even going to talk to the team about, I'm going to tell them after we score this basket, get back, get into a defensive stance, get your hands up, let's play some D, get a rebound.
And for your and that's great advice, by the way. For the Falcons, you got Siefken, Fogel, Rooks, DeRozier, Deshaun Johnson, and Honig.
The Falcons inbound the ball to DeRozier. DeRozier to Fogel at half court. Fogel crosses over to the point guard. He's going to his left. Highland did come out in man-to-man. They go into Johnson. Johnson was being reached over by their defender.
Good job
but
by Johnson
no call.
getting the ball back out.
Siefken at the ball at the free throw line. DeRozier with the ball at the top. 1:07 to go in the game. Fogel with the ball on the right-hand side. We're down to a minute. We go into Siefken. Siefken turns to his baseline. He hits the bank shot. Give some credit to Fogel for the feed. 44-42 with 54 seconds to go in the game.
Falcons
the Huskies bring the ball down the floor. They feed inside to Sandberg. Sandberg kicks it around. Skip pass over to Lasik. Lasik goes inside to Walreb. Walreb over to Lasik. Lasik feeds Curtin inside. He scores on a layup of his own with 35 seconds to go in the game. 44-44. 30 seconds to go. Fogel comes across half court. Both teams have 2 timeouts. Fogel dribbling to his left. No timeout called here. Now Shellman will call a timeout with 23.2 seconds left on the clock.
Wow. So Falcons have the ball. There's 23.2 seconds on the clock. And we'll see what happens.
Now Fogel was driving the ball into the paint, and that's where Shellman called the timeout. He wanted the ball underneath his own basket. That's exactly where they're going to get it. 23.2 seconds on the clock, 44-44. The Falcons will go to the free throw line on any foul. The Huskies will not get to the bonus for another 2 fouls. So the Falcons do have fouls to give, and so they've got to be aware of that situation as well. So we'll come out of this timeout. The Falcons will set up underneath their own basket, and it looks like the Huskies come out in a 2-3 zone and a different kind of look. And so now we go into Johnson in the left-hand side. Johnson dribbling the ball to his right, and he's guarded by Landfair. Landfair,
15
Johnson
seconds.
over to Fogel. Fogel dribbling down the paint. He gives it up to Johnson. Johnson goes up with a shot. He is hammered by Landfair with 9.2 seconds on the clock, and Johnson is going to go to the line for 2.
He got hit hard underneath there. He stood up, started stuttering around a little bit, but I'll tell you what, Johnson is one of our best free throw shooters, statistically. So,
okay, Johnson fell on the floor. They pulled the towel out to get the floor cleaned up, and Highland will call a full timeout, try to ice Johnson as he goes at the free throw line with 9.2 seconds left on the clock. The Falcons still have fouls to give. They only have 5 team fouls. As we said, they're going to be going to the free throw line for the rest of the game. So in that situation, coming down the floor, we could burn some time off the clock just by maybe fouling once. You don't want to foul twice and send them to the line, but with 9.2 seconds on the clock, you could burn a little bit of time.
Yeah, if Deshaun makes his second, I'm going to go full court. I'm going to real pressure. If they kind of burst me a little bit, I'm going to try to foul before they get to half court, hopefully. But yeah, we'll see.
And so
actually, that timeout by Highland was probably good for Deshaun. As hard of a foul that was, and it wasn't intentional, it wasn't flagrant, anything like that, but it was a big, hard foul, and he went down hard. He's a big kid, so I gave him a little bit of a breather there, in my opinion.
Landfair went up in the air and didn't have any choice on where he was coming down. He landed right on top of him. So Johnson steps to the free throw line, shooting 2. Both teams have 1 timeout. 9.2 seconds left on the clock. It's a 44-44 tie. So Johnson has the ball. He puts up his first. It's off the back of the rim. He steps back from the line and goes to the line for his second. 1 shot remaining for Johnson here. He puts up his second shot. It's good. So here come the Huskies. Okay, we have a substitute waiting to come into the game. That was Snodgrass.
And Abbott. Tyson Abbott's in. Snodgrass is in. Coming out is Honig and Clay Siefkin. So they won some speed here and see what happens.
So here comes a little bit of ball pressure by the Falcons. And guess what? Abbott gets after the ball handler, and there's a foul. So now with 8.2 seconds, the foul might have been a little bit early. But with 8.2 seconds on the clock, it's 45-44. Tyson's got to be careful not to make that an intentional foul as well. So now the Huskies roll the ball in. And the ball goes to Lasik. Lasik's coming down the floor. Abbott on defense. Lasik going to his right. There's a pass made by Lasik. It's kicked. It'll be Highland ball. Who kicked it?
I have no idea.
I think it'll be Highland ball underneath their own basket. Looks like the Falcons kicked it with a 1-point lead.
Wow.
1.1 seconds left on the clock.
How fortunate is that? There's 1.1, so probably 1.5, 1.7 seconds. The ball's loose. West Burlington has it. It goes for a pass. It's kicked by West Burlington.
Kicked by West Burlington.
They have the ball. Kick the ball. With 1.1 seconds to go, it's going to be Highland's ball where?
Underneath their own basket. 1.1 seconds on the clock. The Falcons have 16 fouls now, so now that foul situation comes back a little bit, you know. But that's the way basketball is. Do you foul them in that situation before they come down the floor, or do you save that foul for? You can't predict this kind of thing. So it'll be the Huskies' ball underneath their own basket, and it'll be Walrab taking the ball out of bounds. You also have Sandberg, Lasik, Burton on the floor, and Landfair on the floor for the Huskies. So Coach Shellman takes a look at what they're set up in and calls a timeout of his own. So 1.1 seconds, 45-44 Falcon lead. Wow.
Hey, it's the most exciting game I've been to all year now. Of course, I didn't make that Notre Dame game, but the student section's loud. The fans are out here. You mentioned that bus earlier. Athletic dresser, a lot of principals and teachers. I was having Mexican food here in Mount Pleasant. What a great facility that is, by the way. The announcers, the PA people, the staff has all been wonderful welcoming us here. But I'm having Mexican food. I see a group of 4 teachers. They don't got kids on the team. They're out here supporting West Burlington Falcon basketball. How cool is that?
That's awesome. And so here we have the Huskies coming out of their timeout again. We've got all the same players on the floor. The Falcons coming out of their timeout. 1.1 seconds left on the game clock. The referee telling Brooks DeRozier, you got to be straight up here, straight up. The Falcons go man-to-man. Double screen for Lanford. They're blocking everything. The ball's up top. Shot by at the buzzer. It's missed. Your Falcons win. Your Falcons win. 45-44. They are your District 10 champions and will be going to the sub-state game in Muscatine.
Wow. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game.
Fantastic ball game, folks. Your West Burlington Falcons, a 12-10 team coming into your District 10 final, face the Highland Huskies of Riverside, a 17-4 team. And you can hear the fans. They believe that they could win, and there is a celebration going on over in front of the West Burlington Falcon student body. Your Falcon players headed over there, and everybody's jumping up and down, believing they can win. What a great effort. Got to give credit to the Highland Huskies. They battled, and they did just come up just short, but how about your Falcons?
Hey, they had me a little worried there. I gotta be honest. They won. I mean, what do you do? I think that honestly, though, with 8-9 seconds to go and the ball's all the way on the other side. What's up?
No, I just love to see his players. Love to see his players exiting, and they're just hugging, patting each other on the. You can feel the team at this point. Go ahead, B-Hop.
No, I don't really know what to say. That's about it. It's about really the energy that's happening right now. It's been a while. I don't think the boys program has gone this far in a while. They are now, and they got definitely the support by not just parents of the kids, but like we said, the student body, all the friends. I saw some Notre Dame kids down there, which is kind of nice. You know, it's just a good community. Burlington's a great community, and it shows at events like this, and I'm excited for another game.
Absolutely, and we don't know who we're going to be facing in that. We didn't get a bracket tonight prior to the ball game. We believe, and this is just completely hearsay, that maybe Iowa City Regina is in that side of the brackets, coming into that sub-state game that we played in Muscatine this Saturday. And I believe that game will be at 7 o'clock.
So it's going to be in Muscatine no matter what, correct?
I believe so. I believe that no matter what the outcome of this game or the other game, that sub-state final will be played in Muscatine on Saturday at 7 p.m. So, wow, that was a great game to call. I'm glad we got all the equipment set up just in the nick of time. B-Hop.
I got to go take a shower, man. I'm up here sweating. I got drip all over my forehead. I mean, it's just the intensity, the energy, the heat that produced all through the fans and my excitement. Yeah, I'm going to go shower up, but I'll tell you what, if there's any way for us to get this hook up there, we don't know for sure. Most likely, if there's any way possible, we're going to have the game for you. It'll be audio only. Obviously, there's no way we can do the video just for state regulations and whatnot, but we will definitely have the audio, so turn in Saturday because we are playing, baby.
The Falcons are excited, and again, your Falcons win a barn burner here in Mount Pleasant. 45-44 over the Highland Huskies, and we'll see who's next up. Check the website for more information. Go Falcons.
Falcon up, baby.